Hello and welcome to Ex-Witness Awake. I'm your host, Jonathan. Hope that you're doing well today. I hope that you've had a good 2024 so far. Today we're going to be talking about the influence that the society has on kids and teens. The Jehovah's Witness organization boasts a membership of more than 8.5 million followers worldwide. However, it would appear that the numbers are much lower than they claim. Poor attendance at their kingdom halls make it pretty clear that the numbers are actually going down. Meetings in session, you're going to find that they're pretty sparse. Also, at conventions, at assemblies, the numbers that they have attending there are way lower than they have been years past. Now, they claim that hundreds of thousands of people are baptized each year at assemblies and conventions. Are these people that are coming from door-to-door ministry or from literature carts? It's pretty safe to say no, it's not. Most of the increase seems to come from kids and teens. They're just basically following in the footsteps of their parents or pressured by others in the congregation. Really, in order for them to survive as a religious organization, they need to grow their numbers from within, because from without, it's very small, and it's not matching the number of people who are actually leaving the religion. In the last 10 years plus, the Watchtower has made use of cartoons in order to indoctrinate kids. And teens, they're not immune to this. They also have to have things to watch. And really, a 13 to 18-year-old is going to probably find Caleb and Sophia to be a little on the boring side. And, for little kids, it's not really their thing. I've taken the liberty of downloading 4 of these cartoons designed to target teenagers. What I'm going to do is play them, add my commentary, and we'll see about Watchtower's uncanny ability to say the quiet parts out loud and to hypocritically say things that should apply to them. So without further ado, as they like to say, let's get into it. And here we go. So what's a real friend?
What's a real
find
friend?
Out.
Someone who brings out the best in you.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Someone who's always there for you, even when times are tough.
Times are tough if you're disfellowshipped, or if you leave the organization. Are they going to be there for you then? Probably not.
Proverbs 18:24 says that they can even stick closer than a brother. Now that's a real friend. Friends like that are hard to find. And if you worry too much about being liked by everyone, you just may settle for less.
Well, you have to worry about being liked by the people in the congregation, don't you? And in order to be liked by the people in the congregation, you have to follow the rules. You have to do things a certain way, or no one's going to like you. You're just going to be outcast.
So what should you look for? Well, don't judge a book by its cover. Look for what's on the inside. Look for a friend you can trust.
Oh, I bet you can't trust these friends if you have questions. Is if you go to a friend and you voice your concerns about something, they're going to tell you that you need to talk to the elders. And if you don't talk to the elders, they'll do it for you. That's not very trustworthy, is it? No.
A friend who forgives. Someone who doesn't hold your mistakes against you. When it comes to friends, one good friend is better than 100 fake ones.
Fair.
To find a real friend, you may have to look outside your comfort zone.
To find a real friend, you may have to look outside of your congregation. To find a real friend, you might have to look outside of your religion. But they don't want you to do that, no.
They may be where you least expect. So be open-minded.
Like at work. Or in a club. Or at school.
Branch out. Don't just settle for a clone of yourself. Potential friends could have hobbies.
Don't settle for a clone of yourself. Now, if you have the Christian personality, then it's a clone of yourself. Yeah? Because you have to act a certain way, you have to dress a certain way, you have to think a certain way, and the things that make you unique as an individual are muted because you have to follow the rules and you have to follow the status quo in the organization, in the congregations.
Or talents that you don't have. They could be older or younger. They could be of a different background or culture. So don't limit yourself. But remember, real friends need to have good standards. Have you ever had a friend who took advantage of you?
Oh, you know who'll take advantage of you? The governing body. They'll do that. They'll take advantage of you and take your money, as he's showing in that illustration there.
Or talk behind your back? Or spread lies about you?
They spread lies about people too. People like myself who make videos, or people who make posts online or write books or anything like that, that is going against what they say. They say that they're evil apostates and they're have poisonous words and it's deadly to your spirituality. But that is not true. We are basically trying to help people to come out of a bad situation, but they don't see that because people are told that they're evil.
You deserve better than that. So
Yes.
watch out for toxic friends. Toxic friends care only about what they can get out of you. They tear you down because of the way you talk, the way you look, or even for your beliefs.
They tear you down even for your beliefs. So if your beliefs have gone from believing what the governing body has had to say, and it's now changed to something different, they have a problem with your beliefs.
Real friends aren't like that. They let you be yourself. So you need to choose
They let you be yourself. You can't be yourself as a Jehovah's Witness. Come on.
smart friends. Not just book smart, but smart in life. They are the kind that stand for something, and they show it. Proverbs 27:17 says that true friends learn from each other, just as iron sharpens iron. They even make you a better person. So how do you get a friend like that? You can't always expect people to reach out to you. You need to take the initiative. Take the first step and start a conversation. Wait, you do need to talk, but not just about yourself. Ask them questions. Then listen. Really listen. You see, listening is one of the best gifts you can give a friend. Now what? Now it's time to put in some work. That's right.
Bury your old friends. In the
You
dirt.
have to work to make this friendship
Just
grow.
kidding.
So be the kind of friend that's loyal, who doesn't hold a grudge. Be there for them, even when
There are times when they're not going to be there for you. They're not going to be loyal. And you could do something that gets you in trouble. And you could be disfellowshipped for 50 years longer. And they're going to hold that grudge against you because you haven't done what you have to do to get back. Just saying.
times get tough. When you do this, your friendship will really grow. Philippians 2:4 says to keep an eye not just on yourself, but to take an interest in others. Taking an interest in others is what friendship is all about. You know, you're gonna meet a lot of people in life. It'll be up to you to choose your friends. So choose wisely.
It'll be up to you to choose your friend, but only do it with the guidelines that the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society has set out for you. Okay, I think it's only got 23 seconds left, so we'll let that play
Choose
out.
real friends.
Young People Ask book. Yuck. So this is produced in... that was produced in 2013. So there seems to be a few of these were around 2013. At least 2 of them that I got. So let's check out the next one and see what it has to say. Standing up to peer pressure. Ooh, that should be interesting.
Whether you're in school or not, you're probably under a lot of pressure. Not just from all the studying and those piles of homework, but pressure from other kids. Pressure to have sex, or cheat, or maybe it's to smoke or take drugs. Of course, you know what they want you to do is bad, but at times you may feel like you're missing out if you don't join them. You're not alone. Since the world began, young people have been dealing with peer pressure. But it doesn't mean you have to give in. The Bible has some good advice. Exodus 23:2 tells us not to just follow after the crowd. In other words, don't do something just because everyone else is doing it.
Don't do something just because everyone else is doing it. Okay. So if you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses, you are expected to do things a certain way. You are expected to act a certain way at the Kingdom Hall. You are expected to go out in the ministry. Well, not so much anymore, but they still want you to participate. You're expected to have a spiritual routine. Now, having a spiritual routine in and of itself isn't a bad thing. If you are someone who is a spiritual person, then that is part of who you are. But if it's left to your own understanding and your own research, and you've come to have certain beliefs that you have investigated, that's good. If you have certain beliefs that have come about because some old men in New York told you that's what you have to do. For instance, in the annual meeting that was just broadcast on jw.org on their broadcasts, or maybe I'm thinking of the Gilead graduation. It might be the Gilead graduation. In any case, there is a part where Jeffrey Jackson does a review of what we believe, and he even admits that, you know, if you think this is new, this is what we've believed for a long time. So you have to go and look and just to know what you believe, because it can be so convoluted that it doesn't make any sense and you don't even remember what it is you believe. So if someone says, hey, what do you believe about X, Y, and Z? You're going to be like, I don't know. Let me look it up on jw.org and find out what I believe. Anyway, let's get back to peer pressure here.
Instead, be your own person. How do you get the strength to stand up to peer pressure? Here are 4 steps that can help. First, keep on the lookout for moral dangers and identify any situations where you might be pressured to do something wrong. If you see trouble coming your way, don't walk right into it. Find another route and avoid the problem. The second step, stop and take the time to think. Think about the consequences before you give in to peer pressure.
Oh, okay. So apparently this girl is concerned that she's going to gain a lot of weight, have 3 kids, and still be in school. Okay.
In Proverbs 14:15, the Bible says, "Smart people watch their step." So don't just jump in and do what others say.
Don't just jump in and do what other people say. That applies in all parts of your life. At your work, at play, and at home, and at the meetings. So you have to decide if what is being presented to you actually makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you don't want to just continue to go with what they have to say. You have to weigh whether it's something you can do and live with or make a change. That's my 2 cents.
That may be hard to do if you're trying to fit in. But that's the time to use your imagination.
People are trying to fit in because they have to in order to keep their life the way that they want. And it can be hard, as this guy just said.
How will I feel later if I give in? What might be the outcome? How might my actions affect others that care about me the most? Step 3. You need to plan ahead. Proverbs 24:5 says that a person who has knowledge increases his power. If you know exactly why you're saying no to something, why something is bad, it can give you the strength to say no.
Oh boy, okay. So why are you saying no to the things that we see on the internet if you don't know what they are? When David Splain or one of the other governing bodies says, there are reports and we're not going to tell you what they are, but they're bad, so stay away from them. You're not getting that knowledge that they're talking about in the video. So you don't have that ability to reason for yourself and figure out what's going on. You're just taking his word for it. You're at a loss because you don't have that knowledge, because they don't tell you what it is the reports are, what people are saying. They're just terrified that it's going to ruin your faith. But really, if your faith can be destroyed that easily by something that someone says online, maybe there's something to it.
Now the 4th step. Take action. No, you don't have to give your peers a lecture. Just say no, clearly and confidently. You may be surprised at their reaction. Each time you take a stand for what you know is right, you get stronger and stronger. And that makes it easier to resist the pressure the next time.
Yeah. So people who stand up for what they know is right, for instance, they don't want to be a part of an organization that protects predators that harm children. So they leave. And they're stronger for it. They don't want to stay in an organization that has traumatized them or allowed something to happen to them. So they leave. And they're stronger for it. Some people see hypocrisy. Some people see what is supposed to be prophetic, but is not prophetic. It's just something that someone interpreted and calling it fact and prophecy. But they see that it's wrong. So they're stronger for it because they decide to live their life the way that they see fit.
You don't need to be rude, but you could give a reason why you wouldn't want to join in. And if they do keep pressuring you, just remember this. Giving in to peer pressure is kind of like being turned into a puppet. with your peers pulling the strings.
Governing body are the puppet masters. They're making puppets of the people in the congregations.
You can't hide from peer pressure, but you can stand up to it. Remember to keep on the lookout. Think about the consequences. Plan ahead and take action. Facing up to peer pressure can be scary at times. But when you do, you show the decisions you make really are your own.
And you want decisions that you make to be your own. You don't want it to be something that's just written in a magazine or that is spewed at you from your TV or from your phone, coming from jw.org. You want to be able to make your own decisions. It's important. Okay, enough of that. All right, so that's 2 down, 2 to go. Yeah, and when I'm going over these, I'm not saying that there's nothing of value in these. Some of the things that they're saying actually make sense. It's not necessarily bad advice, but when it comes from a source that's hypocritical and are hiding things, it's harmful. When it's used to mold the minds of young people to be obedient little servants of the organization, it's harmful. All right, let's go now to sports. Let's see what it has to say. Yes.
Sports. They can be good for you. In fact, at 1 Timothy 4:8, the Bible says that physical exercise is beneficial. Sports can teach you vital skills, including how to cooperate and communicate with others. But sports can also be bad for you. It all depends on what you play, how you play, and how much you play. Consider...
And also, I'm surprised they didn't say it who you play with, because they don't want people in the organization, the kids, to join sporting events because of the time that you're going to spend on it, and the people that are not other indoctrinated people, other kids, you might be influenced to, I don't know, enjoy life.
what you play. At Psalm 11:5, the Bible reminds us that God hates anyone who loves violence. And some sports are clearly violent. So ask yourself, does it make sense to be entertained by watching others get knocked around? Next, consider how you play. At Philippians 2:3, the Bible says, "Do nothing out of contentiousness or out of egotism, but with humility, consider others superior to you." Of course, nearly every sport involves a degree of competition, but a win-at-all-costs attitude will just take the fun out of the game. And besides, at Proverbs 16:18, the Bible says that pride is before a crash. So ask yourself, do I enjoy playing with overly competitive and prideful people? Then why would I want to be like that?
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree. If somebody is just like, I'm the best at this, I'm number one, it can get a little tiresome. It can be a little annoying. But it's healthy to have a good sense of self-worth and self-respect and a little pride in what you do. So you don't want to have the attitude that they want you to have, which is that you're always, that somebody's always superior to you. I mean, it's all relative. I mean, there are people that are superior to, like, the government in certain ways, or the authorities, that sort of thing. I mean, you got to follow the law, and morally, the governing body is saying that they're superior to you. They have taken the lead as the spiritual guide for Jehovah's Witnesses, because they feel that they fit the bill for that, the faithful and discreet slave, which they count as being as being prophetic, that they're going to be the ones who are in charge of the organization. It's not a prophecy, it's a parable, but they seem to fit the bill in their own heads, and that makes them superior to you. Do you think that the governing body members do their own laundry, cook their own food? They have assistants to do everything for them. I've heard that governing body members will travel to conventions and different branch offices, and they will have assistants to take notes, to handle people's calls, to fetch them stuff. They think they're superior. They definitely do. Anyway, carrying on.
Finally, consider how much you play sports, or even watch. At Philippians 1:10, the Bible says, make sure of the more important things. That's good advice, because let's face it, putting too much emphasis on sports is like putting too much salt on your food. If you spend too much time watching or playing sports, other things in your life will suffer.
I seriously doubt that you're going to be falling asleep at the dinner table because you've watched too many basketball games. That seems a little far-fetched, but yeah, whatever.
That includes your family life, school grades, and the time you need to devote to worship.
I'm sure that this kid is actually sleeping the being because they're boring. That's the problem. They're boring.
In the end, sports shouldn't be the most important thing in your life. Instead, think of it as the reward you get for taking care of your responsibilities first. That way, you really get the benefits of sports and avoid the pitfalls.
Well, that was fun, the sports thing. Yeah, sports, some sports are dangerous, some sports are violent, it's true. So that's something that you have to decide. But they want you to go according to their rules. And they don't want you to devote a lot of time to it. They don't want you to get too heavily involved. They don't want you to spend a lot of time watching these games. They want you at the meetings, and they want you doing the chores and towing the line so that you're a well-indoctrinated little JW. All right, let's go look at the last one now.
Have you been infected?
Prejudice.
No, not with an actual virus, but with something that has infected people throughout history. Something that no one is completely immune to. Prejudice. Whoa, you may think. Prejudice? Me? That can't be right. I like all kinds of people. The truth is that all of us are capable of, or even guilty of, prejudice to some degree. But it can be hard to recognize in ourselves.
That is true. They represent prejudice as these spiny cucumber things. I don't know what that's about, but let's see what they have to say.
So, what is prejudice? To overcome prejudice, you have to understand what it is. Prejudice often means having a biased opinion, either good or bad, of someone you don't even know.
Oh, a biased opinion either good or bad of someone you don't know. Like someone that doesn't believe what you believe or has changed their beliefs to no longer match yours. You'd have a biased opinion because you're told that you're supposed to hate those people. Interesting. Let's carry on.
We can be prejudiced against people and even treat them badly simply because.
Yes, we can treat them badly and throw them in the dumpster. See what I mean about these videos? They're just kind of say the quiet part out loud, and it just sort of projects back at them.
Because of their age, where they're from, what they look like, how much money they have, or because of other things that make people different from us. But judging others based on appearances or superficial traits before getting to know them would be unfair and unreasonable. It would be like hating a food before you've even tried it. Prejudice can lead us to give special treatment to some people and exclude others. It can make us act like we're smarter or better than people who are different. But that can be dangerous. The Bible says at Proverbs 16:18 that pride is before a crash and a haughty spirit before stumbling. Having a superior attitude can keep us from having real friends. That can take the joy out of life.
Yeah, what they're saying here isn't untrue. If you're the kind of person that thinks you're better than everybody else, then, it's going to kind of put people off, and they're going to maybe not want to be your friend.
If you recognize prejudice in your heart, what can you do? Try these steps.
If you are a prejudiced person, consult your doctor.
Learn more about those around you. What have they experienced in their life? What are their talents? When you appreciate others' strengths, it can be a powerful antidote to prejudice. Next, take a look at your friends. Do they all look, think, and act a lot like you?
That's what they want you to do. They want you to have little witness friends that think and act like you do. Because if they don't, what's the alternative? They have different ideas. They have different interests aside from going to the Kingdom Hall or studying or answering the meeting or going door to door.
If so, follow the Bible's advice at 2 Corinthians 6:13 and widen out. Make friends with people who are different from you.
But only who are Jehovah's Witnesses.
But what if you discover that some of them practice bad things? In that case, stay away. Their bad conduct can make you act badly.
Guy's a thief. Watch out.
In this world, prejudice is everywhere. We don't have to let it control our thinking. We can overcome prejudice if we avoid reaching negative conclusions about people before we get to know them. Make an effort to learn about others. And try to make friends with people who are different from us. The more we know about the people around us, the more we can appreciate the things that make us different.
And there you have it. Those are 4 videos that are designed for the little bit older kids, the young teens, to get them to think a certain way. Now, the things that they were saying about being prejudiced, about sports, and and the other things, which I don't remember now. As I said, it's not necessarily wrong what they're talking about. It's the source of where it's coming from. And if it's coming from an organization that is designed to control you in the way that you think and you act. You know, that BITE model, behavioral control, information control, thought control. What's the E? The emotion control. I forgot for a second. Yeah, they're going to get you to act a certain way. And as I stated in the beginning, they really need those kids and those teens to get baptized and become the next generation of Jehovah's Witnesses, because they are bleeding members. And if you are a young person, just be careful of what is being told to you on the stage or in a video or in a magazine, and think for yourself and make the right choice for you. You don't want to make the choice for grandma or brother so-and-so or 3 other kids in the congregation who decided they want to get baptized. So you're just going to do it too because it's expected of you, because the consequences that come with that can really mess up your life. And that is all that I have to say on that subject. I hope you've enjoyed this little video presentation. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.